Sean Diddy Combs is worried about the wrong things. Did he confront a content creator inside the court saying, "I know you"?
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So earlier today, we dropped our day 20 Diddy trial update. So if you missed it, be sure to check that out along with the Diddy trial update playlist that we have for all of your updates, because I know you're probably inundated by so many different updates. But if you want a summary that's clear and concise, be sure to check them out here on the channel and on the Kempire podcast. Let's talk about this though, because I've been hearing things on social media in regards to Stephanie Soo, who's been inside the courtroom since day one. So before we get to what Stephanie had to say about Diddy mouthing words to her inside the courtroom, she already was posting on her social media about weird behavior on outside of the courtroom. And I told you some of what I've been seeing in regards to the coverage that we've been doing throughout the day is weird behavior happening inside and outside the court. Hence why I'm glad to be reporting from home, away from the weird energy that's around Sean Diddy Combs. If you've been following the stories and the updates here on the channel, we're not just talking about domestic violence. We're talking about a very dark energy, a very dark spirit that's been around us in our music, in our culture, and his name is Sean Diddy Combs. So Stephanie took to her social media talking about weird comments that she was receiving from people outside the court.
It has been a rough few weeks. This is our fourth time moving locations. One of them was completely unrelated to the case, and the rest of the times that we've moved to different places to stay, it's just been getting weird, and we're taking all the necessary precautions to keep the entire team safe. So the past 2 weeks, we have had almost 8 or 9 times completely new faces that will come up to us, tell us that they love our show, Rotten Mango, and then they keep asking us where we're staying. This has been happening like every other day. There are other odd questions that are asked by people that don't necessarily look like they even care about the show in the slightest. So one person in particular asked a series of questions trying to gauge how much, quote, power I have over my audience. Like they kept asking like, can you make them do anything? And I was like, do you think I like run a cult? I think half of them don't even like me that much. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean I can't make them do anything, period? But they kept asking like, well, you don't think if you say something, they would listen to you? And I'm like, I don't think so. I think they would do their own research. And it did not seem like this person cared at all about this show. There was one instance.
I have to pause it there because remember, if you've been following our coverage, I said to you that it feels as if, based on the testimonies that we've been seeing about the assistants and the ex-girlfriends that were so loyal to Diddy, I said, this is very cult-like behavior. And I think it's important to note what she's saying here and what this person was saying to her, because is Diddy trying to influence this case from the outside? Maybe.
It's where we're walking out of the courthouse. We run into someone who's like, hey, I love your show. That's it. And then they like come in for a hug. It was kind of abrupt. I was a little bit taken off guard. I love your show. Pulling me in for a hug. And my researcher snatches my arm, pulls me back and is like, we gotta go. Our car is here. And I thought it was kind of strange. So we get into the car and she's telling me their hand was like elbow deep into your tote bag. It's clear that they're looking for something. Now, I will say that my tote bag opening is quite large, but it's right under my armpit. So you would have to attempt to stick your arm in there. It would not be an accident like, oh, I'm hugging you and my hand just ended up in this side. It's like elbow deep. So, I mean, I guess they could have been trying to steal my wallet, but it was weird. There's a lot of other small incidents that have taken place over the past week. It feels like the weirdness and the influx of all these odd questions of where are you staying? How much influence do you have increased, especially the where are you staying ones. I mean, I've never had that many people ask me where I'm staying. Honestly, nothing really happened. It's just, you know, when you have a gut feeling like something's not right, it's kind of a lot of those that have been creeping us out, and we're just trying to stay on top of it before it escalates to anything.
Gut feelings are really important, and I've been telling you that when covering this case, there's a lot of things that I've been seeing. Not everything that I've seen I've reported on, but there's a lot of interesting energy outside and inside this courtroom. But I also reported to you in covering this case that there were people being paid outside to wear free Diddy shirts. including people that are part of Diddy's entourage, as he has people escorting the family in wearing Free Diddy merch. So Stephanie reported on that a few days ago. Then she reported this.
I think Diddy might know us. I don't know, maybe. So I'm just gonna explain. Usually, Sean Combs will do this thing where he does a sweep of the press pews when he first walks into the courtroom. He's like hugging his attorneys. He'll look to the public side, which is on his right, and then we're kind of diagonal from him. And he oftentimes, since more of his supporters are coming to the courtroom these days, he'll shoot them little hand hearts. He'll put his hand to his chest. He'll mouth thank you. And then the press pews, we get a simple glance over and sometimes a nod. Now, clearly, this stands out to both my researcher and I really strongly because on Thursday, we even write the time down, at 8:50 a.m., jurors are not in the courtroom. Sean Combs sits down at his chair and he turns in his chair to the right. This is our eye direction, like we can see him now. He starts staring in what felt like in our general direction or perhaps right behind us, and it's a pretty lengthy stare. And then he starts nodding while mouthing the words dramatically, "I know you." He mouths it twice with what we perceive to be a smirk. Then as he's turning back around to face the front, he's like ever so slightly shaking his head while he's still smirking. But again, I'm not trying to be dramatic. I don't know if he was looking at me. He could have been looking behind me, right? But then right at that moment, the jury comes in, we all stand up, and as there's noise in the courtroom, because we're not allowed to talk when the judge is on the bench, a reporter from a major media network, I mean, she's been doing this for years and years. She's like a professional. She turns to me and she whispers, quote, "You're putting that in your video, right?" Because that was at least 7 seconds. So my researcher and I, we both felt it was weird. We both wrote it down independently in our notes in the courtroom. We talked about it after, and we're like, you know what? We can't be sure. We don't want to be dramatic. Then it happens again on Friday, a week later.
It should be noted, don't forget, the judge reprimanded Diddy via his attorney, saying that he has to stop making facial expressions and interacting with the jury. And according to insiders, journalists, they were saying Diddy has been doing that since the beginning of the trial. And I don't know if the judge noticed it himself or someone reported it to the judge, but it was noted. They threatened, they said if he continues, he will be kicked out of court and he won't be there for the trial. And everyone that's there says that Diddy is very expressive. You would say that some even joked that maybe he's one of the attorneys because of how he's interacting. He's taking notes. He's whispering to his attorneys. Look, he should. This is his life on the line. But interacting with the jury, literally, I remember when we first started covering this, and I mentioned this in one of our updates, that journalists were reporting that once Diddy came in and sat down, he literally looked at the media area and gave them all a look. Not a threatening, I don't know if they would consider it threatening, but he looked them in the eye. And according to Stephanie, he does this on a regular basis every day. I don't know what that means, because is that a way of saying, I remember each and every one of you if I get out of here? I don't know. But it's definitely giving weirdo behavior.
On Friday, there's this moment where there's a sidebar. Sean Combs' attorneys are near the front of the courtroom with the judge, and regardless, the jurors are still sitting on the side. Sean Combs turns around, and then he talks to his mom, and then he's smiling, nodding at her. He's like mouthing, "I love you." And then my neck is tilted still because I'm observing him, and I'm taking notes about him talking to his mom during this sidebar. And as he's making his turn back to the front, it felt like we make awkward eye contact. And I say awkward to the point where I'm like, you know when it's so awkward, you almost like instinctively smile or look down because you're like, oh, I just got caught staring at someone. Mm-hmm. That was the feeling. It was like, oh, I literally just got caught staring him down. And he starts rubbing his chin with his left hand and mouths what appears to seem like, "I know you. I know you." And this time it seemed more pronounced because as he's rubbing his chin with his left hand, he does like a slight index point. It's not like a point. He's not pointing his finger, but it's kind of like a hand gesture, like, "I know you," like kind of like you, like almost pointing at you, whoever you is. Then he turns to the front, and it was just so odd. It was just weird. And again, he knows us, he doesn't know us. Does it really matter? I don't think so, but I did almost pee myself.
Of course, Stephanie. Shout out to those of you that are, look, if I went there, I'm glad I'm not, and I do not intend to go at any time. If I did, though, I would have, I don't know if you can bring crystals into the courthouse, but I would have me some black tourmaline on me at all times. I have black tourmaline literally right here in front of me. And I got some other crystals. I believe in energy, and I believe that Diddy has very dark energy, especially when you see and you're covering these details of this case and what he's done to these people. Anyway, that's not the only thing, because Diddy, again, is worried about the wrong things. Weirdo behavior. Let me read to you what CBS is reporting in regards to him confronting a sketch artist. Like, sir, you are fighting for your freedom and your life, and you're worried about the wrong things. According to CBS News, Sean Diddy Combs had a request for the courtroom artist at his trafficking racketeering conspiracy trial. During a break in the trial proceedings Thursday, Combs spoke to court artist Jane Rosenberg to ask her to soften it up a bit, saying that she makes him look like a koala in her sketches, Rosenberg told CBS News New York. Combs, who has been jailed since September's arrest, now has gray hair and a beard. Cameras and photography are not allowed, as you know, in the federal court, but sketch artists are. Combs' remarks to Rosenberg came on the same day that the judge warned Combs' defense team that he could be removed from the court if he tried to interact with the jury. So here's the thing. Some people have said this is how he knows Stephanie Soo, because she has made comments about him looking like a koala bear in court. Do these jailbirds, these folks that are in the jail, the MDC, have access to the internet? Or is this something that his legal team is bringing to his attention? I don't know the amount of access that these folks have while incarcerated. And again, we have to remember he's being detained. He's not necessarily in prison yet, like a Tory Lanez. I don't know how much internet access he has, but how is he watching these videos? Either way, he's worried about the wrong things. He's worried about his image versus his freedom. But everyone is still saying, has the prosecution proven the charges of trafficking and racketeering? That remains to be seen. One of the updates we had today was that I believe it was they were trying to have one of the jurors stricken, and that was denied by the judge. As always, if you enjoy content like this or you want an update like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit your notifications so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Don't forget to like the video, and don't forget, we're taking the Kempire After Dark, the Villain Era tour to a city near you, Philadelphia. You're literally a month away. Go get your tickets today for that show. I'll be in Atlanta on August 5th, then in DC on August 22nd, then back here in New York City on September 12th. Don't miss a night of hot topics, comedy, and more. More information on that and more will be available in the description. As always, thanks for watching.
Here we go now.